learning institutions remain closed, and based on what is going on so far, it's expected that they will remain closed for the better part of the year. Now, in the wake of this COVID-19, this morning, we are seeing learning being affected, and we already have disruptions in the school calendar. But how exactly is the coronavirus affecting specifically universities? To be specific on the universities, how is it affecting our tertiary institutions? What are the possible teaching solutions we have in our universities? Well, joining me this morning, we are coming joined live by the University of Nairobi Vice Chancellor, Professor Stephen Kiama. Professor, a very good morning to you. I hope you're doing well this morning. Before we discuss on this issue on the COVID-19, you've had a very high-profile administrative positions before you became the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. You served as Deputy VC Human Resource and Administration at UON, served as Principal, College of Agriculture and Science at UON. You served as Director at Wangari Maathai Institute for Peace and Environmental Studies, served as Dean, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, just to mention a few. But why was your appointment, received with a lot of uproar? Your appointment as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi.
Yes, thank you, Lam, for asking that question. I have served in many other positions beside this one. I have served in the church as the chair of the Milimani Presbyterian. I have served as the St. Andrews Parish chairman. I have served as the board chair of Gatuge Gao Secondary Schools. I have served as the board chair of Utaviti Primary School. So I have served in many other responsibilities, even here in the university. Mm-hmm. But it was quite a surprise also to me when I was appointed as a Vice Chancellor, University of Nairobi, and then there was this maneno. First of all, I would like to mention that the position of the Vice Chancellor of University of Nairobi was advertised by the Public Service Commission on the prompting of the University of Nairobi Council. And the Council sent the rubric there to the Public Service Commission. The Public Service Commission advertised, and then we were shortlisted. 14 of us applied, and 8 of us were shortlisted, and we were interviewed. I was happy to note that I was one of those shortlisted, despite, because I had served in various positions and I had what it took to be the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. And then when we were interviewed, I emerged the best candidate after the interview by a very professional Public Service Commission. Lam, that the Public Service Commission is the body, is a constitutional body entitled to interviewing all public servants in this country. And it has interviewed, it is the one which recommends, including the parent secretaries and all those other cadres of staff, very senior officers. So they are very, very experienced. So I was also very surprised about what came about. But I would think it's because there is always a confusion somewhere in terms of how do you access public office. There are 2 ways of accessing public office. One is through elections, where you put your name forward, and then you are elected through queuing system or people secret ballot or raising of hands or whatever method the community chooses. And this, you find that the community, whoever emerges top is just the one who gets the most vote. You could have used any method, and sometimes you have had where you use method, you buy people, you pay people something, or you buy them certain things and you impress them, or you also come from the biggest clan in that community, or you have married the most wives in that area, and therefore you have footsteps in every home. And as a result, you can get most votes, or you are the best organizer in just bringing people together. So that is one method of accessing public office.
So you get your position, but not based on merit.
where you go through an interview, an independent panel goes through your curriculum vitae to find out whether you have what it takes to occupy a certain public position. Then after that, they put you down and ask you questions, structured questions in all fields. Like, for example, you'll be asked questions on finance, questions on procurement, questions on human resource, questions on research, questions on managing the various legislative frameworks, all those things. And then when they listen to you in all those things that you can be able to respond from your fingertips, then it is when they score you independent of each other, and then after that tally and determine who wins. So that is the other method of accessing public office, and this is the method that was used to appoint or to identify the Vice Chancellor, University of Nairobi. And I emerged top, as I said, and I was very, very happy and excited to have emerged top, because I did not expect to be this way. And if they were looking at the various connections that one has, or they were looking at the age of the person, I did not have some of those qualifications. And as a result, they looking at merit, they finally decided that it is me who has emerged top. And then the council and the minister then, after consultation, appointed me as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. So I was surprised to see then also that came about, yeah.
Congratulations, Prof, for getting that position. Yeah. And it is something that we can commend you for, because it is not an easy journey, reaching where you've reached. But now, what vision do you have for the university? Prof, are you able to hear me? What vision do you have for the University of Nairobi?
Yes, I'm listening, and I'm not hearing you well. Go on.
All right, we will be linking up with the Prof. I don't know if you can be able to hear me, Professor. That is the Professor for the Vice Chancellor for the University of Nairobi. Prof, I don't know if you can hear me. Once again, what vision do you have for the University of Nairobi?
I hear you now very, very clearly, yes.
All right, what vision do you have for the University of Nairobi?
Oh, I have a great, great vision for the University of Nairobi. I want to bring about positive impact to the Kenyan community. I want to ensure that the University of Nairobi brings positive impact to the Kenyan community in terms of socio-economic and environmental transformation of the Kenyan people.
And as we look at that, let me now be specific on the coronavirus coming into the COVID-19 and how it has affected the universities. Do we see an expected disruption in the school calendar? And how deep has this effect of the COVID-19 been, specifically even to the University of Nairobi?
Yes, thank you very much. And even as I come to that, I would like to expound a little more on the issue of the vision and how I expect the University of Nairobi to impact on the Kenyan community. One of the things I want to ensure is that we do some internal reforms that will ensure that we maximize or we bring in efficiency and effectiveness in the way we do business. We are going to do certain aspects of data reforms, bringing in the issue of integrated data management system, as well as also governance reforms that bring in efficiency and effectiveness, and also accountability of how everybody plays their role. We are also going to do reforms on the finances, ensuring we align our resources to the core business of the university. And we are also going to do student and staff reforms, particularly on ensuring that the students, the training we do, the work program that we give them, will ensure that they are fit for purpose. They are fit for purpose. And also the members of staff, we are going to ensure that they are better motivated and retooled to train the student of the future. And also in the issue of the research, we are going to ensure that we bring in the issue of culture of innovation so that people are innovative. You have brought in the things of COVID-19. Lam, we know we have had quite a big problem. It has disrupted our economy, our business. It has affected also the operations of the university. But as the Vice Chancellor, I have decided, in consultation with my management, to ensure that we migrate all our services to the online platform. We are already there on to do with learning. We have trained all the staff and the students to move the teaching and learning to the online platform. We are also migrating defenses for PhD and masters to the online platform. We are going to continuously do like that, service by service, to move to online platform, because we don't know how long this COVID-19 will take. And we want, as a university, to ensure that we confront this challenge and we take it as an opportunity to adopt new innovations of doing business. And we believe that even some of the things we adopt now, when we move into the future, those are some of the things we will retain to ensure the university becomes better and better in performing its functions. We have been organizing even board meetings, whether it's Senate, whether it's the University Executive Board, using the online platform. And I have seen, actually, even the turnout is better than even before. I have seen that even people arrive for the meeting even before the meeting starts.
So it is effective so far.
We are taking advantage of this COVID-19 to ensure that the university becomes even more effective and efficient in carrying out business.
You formed a Senate Ad Hoc Committee, the university, to streamline online learning at the institution because of this COVID-19 outbreak. How effective has this Senate Ad Hoc Committee been so far?
Yes, it has been, but before I mention that, one of the other items I forgot to mention is the issue of research, to ensure that research is also carried out even on this issue of COVID-19 and all the other aspects of research that the university must do. You have asked about the committee. There is a committee I formed. It's chaired by Professor Mohammed Jama. He is the deputy principal of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. There are other members like Professor Karuti Kanyinga and the others. And Collins Odote and the other members. The main thing about this committee is to ensure that as we move service by service to online platform, we remain alive to the relevant regulations and legislation to ensure that whatever we do, nobody can come and challenge it. Because it is important. It's the first time that a university is trying to move these things to online platform in Kenya. So it is important to ensure that whatever we do it right, so that others can benchmark with us. So that is why this committee is there. Like now we have put in the teaching and learning. They are supposed to do the background and they check that whether there is any law that we may not have conformed with, whether it is a professional associations, whether it is the Commission for University Education, whether it is the University Act, and they try to check and see what we need to do if there is somewhere we have not aligned. So that when we do business, it turns out like it is the business the way it is supposed to be done by the university or in Kenya, and the others can also learn from us. That is what the role of this committee. Very, very important. But they take teaching and learning, and then also they are supposed to take all the other services as we migrate them to online platform.
Does this COVID-19 have an effect on the school calendar? You mentioned that the university has gone online, but now how has the school calendar been affected in whichever manner? And specifically, what plans do you have for the final year students who are yet to graduate or even do their final examinations? Yes,
the calendar was affected for sure because you see this was abrupt, the closing. You remember the president and the minister said that learning should be suspended and the education institution should proceed and close the institutions, which we did. Then we used the 2 weeks for planning on how do we move from there. So we were staggered therefore for 2 weeks. Some programs will be staggered for 3 weeks. We said that the schedules will be staggered. So when a faculty is ready, they commence the teaching, because we want to ensure that both the students and the teachers are ready to migrate online. We are also working with the telecom and Safaricom to ensure that the student has data bundles, and also that is something to ensure that those who are in remote areas or those who are somewhere where they cannot access data bundle, we also provide for them. So with this, we expect that the timetable will be a bit changed, staggered, but all the students, we expect them to finish, to be able to graduate, those who are graduating this year to graduate. There are those students who are just finishing their program, they were finishing their masters, they were finishing their PhD, they had already written their thesis, they were in the final step. We have said that these students should be examined. The process of examining them should proceed immediately. The Senate already approved a procedure on how this should be done. Those who are to sit for their exams, I have asked the faculty to be innovative and ensure that those students are also examined. We cannot keep them indefinitely. Nobody knows how this COVID-19 will be. It could be even up to August, like some people are saying. It could be up to October. So we cannot just keep students out there. We must be innovative. This is the time now for the faculty to be able to think differently from the way they were taught by their mentors, and they just originate something new. And there is a definitely a way. There is a way of ensuring that students are examined and still ensuring exam integrity, because that is very important. Because, you know, when we are examining university students, we examine them for knowledge, we examine them for skills. That is what we are most important with. Does the student have the knowledge? Does the student have the skills? You know, Ram, even when we mark our exams, and even perhaps yourself, when you went to the university, we grade you. We tell you have A, you have B, you have C, you have D. We don't tell you even that you have 8, you had 80 marks, you had 75 marks, you had 90 marks. We tell you you had A. Actually, A ranges from 75 to 100. So you could be 75, you could be 80, you could be 85, you could be 90, or even 100. But all those students are grouped together as A. If you have 0 to 40, you have failed because you don't have adequate knowledge to do what you claim you want to do. So it is very easy to do university exam, because at the end of the day, you just want to cluster the students to know, is this a student a fail? Is this student a D material? Is this student a C material? Is this student a B material? Is this student a A material? That is just what you are interested in.
So, Professor,
but you want to know, is this student competent enough? Do they have the knowledge and the skills to do what they claim to do? So
Prof,
it is very easy
are you assuring
to examine in a university?
So are you assuring your students that at the end of the day, they should be contented that they will graduate, regardless of the challenges that we are seeing brought by the COVID-19?
Yes, I want to assure our students that they will be graduate, because University of Nairobi is comprised of very, very highly qualified faculty who are ready to confront any challenge and come up with innovative ways to deal even in this kind of a challenge.
I'm looking at the challenges that you may be facing even as you look at e-learning. Do you have equal access to digital learning tools? So I'm saying I'm looking at the challenges that you may be facing as you look at e-learning. Do we have equal access to digital learning tools for all students and lecturers?
This LAM is obviously a challenge, and you have indicated so. It is not even, because we know even in this country, there are some places where the bandwidth is not very good, or the reception is not very good. But you are aware that the president recently announced a collaboration between Gogorun and Telecom to ensure that every part of this country you can access internet. And that is a milestone for this country. I think people, that if there was anything to come in the headline of the newspapers, it would be that announcement. So we expect that as we get students online, they should be able to access internet wherever they are because of this huge government initiative. But we know also that even now, currently, Safaricom, Telecom covers quite a bit of this country. Now, the other thing is I want to ensure is to provide the student and the staff with the data, because that I think is also very important to be able to support them, because it's an expensive, data is expensive, especially if you have to use it, you are teaching for 1 hour, or you are receiving this lecture for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, 5 hours. So this we are going to provide also to ensure that nobody is faced with a problem of accessing the lectures. We also expect, Lam, that many of us have now to exit some comfort zone to be able to adopt this new technology. Whenever a new technology comes, even when the smartphones came, you had to start to learn how to deal with the keyboard, which now is not readily accessible like the other one. You have to click somewhere to reach it. So people have now to adopt to this new technology, and I expect that they'll have to exit a bit from their comfort zone. I expect also that those who do not have smartphones, that they'll be able to work with those who have, and they agree on how to convene together. You walk and meet and cover the lectures together. I expect that even people will make attempts even to borrow some of the gadgets to be able to do, because it is very important to each one of us. Can you imagine if everybody is, even in life, you are confronted with any problem, and then after that you just sit back and you say that you cannot help, you cannot do anything. I know that some of us, even to go to school, the family has to sell the only family cow to ensure that we went to school and learned. So I expect that even this time, for the purpose of ensuring that your son, for ensuring that you finish your academic studies on time, that everybody is going to collaborate, and everybody is going to face this challenge and sacrifice something to ensure that we are all on board together.
And I love what you're saying, that with emerging trends, we need to adopt and we need to learn new ways of adopting to the current situation. But in terms of training, how far are we in terms of training for both lecturers and students who are also required to have devices and reliable internet connection? Yeah,
and even just another point of emphasis. Can you imagine in this era, someone who is a university faculty, is a university student who cannot access internet? That person is probably being trained for the past, not for tomorrow. Because we know the information is available online, and every time the new information is coming. If you are only depending on your lecturer, that you have never had access to internet, we need to know those ones, because we need to help them. Because the university of the future is on the internet. And even that is where people are passing information on WhatsApp, on Facebook, and it is current. The news are current. It's not the way we used to wait for news at 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock. You can get news through the day what is happening. There's a bomb blast somewhere, there's a problem somewhere, you know it instantly.
Now,
so
Prof,
if you have no access to internet, there is a big problem,
Allow me to also cut you short on that. We have, because of the interest of time, I would like us to bring this discussion to a close. We have had political leaders who are questioning what universities are doing. Political leaders who are questioning what our professors, scientists, what are our learned people doing when it comes to bringing solutions and research on the COVID-19, that we don't have to depend on solutions brought from out of Kenya, that we can come up with solutions on our own from our own professors and learned friends who are in our own universities. What is your take on that?
Very well. The professors are doing a lot. First of all, also on expanding on the other question, is that we are training both the staff and the students to use online platforms. We have used the last 2 weeks to ensure everybody has been trained on how to use online platform so that the teaching can go on seamlessly. Now, we know that the College of Health Sciences, we have professors there, we have an institute there which is involved in virology. They are doing research to find out on how we need to ensure that this disease is controlled or is understood better.
All right.
Its life cycle.
All right.
So we have a big team there working in the lab to ensure, and also we have the postgraduate students also working, teaming up with the doctors in Kenyatta National Hospital to attend to the patients.
Within 10 seconds, maybe
we
you can
have
wrap
also
up your
the issue of
comment.
the Faculty of Law, the Faculty of Law, which has also been involved in doing the COVID Act to ensure that all aspects of our life, where it interfaces with the legislation, with the law, that there is there are intervention by the various ministries, and there is a guided intervention. So there is that governance issue that they are dealing with, on the aspect of governance. But there is also the issue of research, including the virus. There were people even who were doing research to find out even how this virus behaves.
Okay.
There are others who are planning on how to ensure that we will be able to support the government, even in the provision of isolation facilities and also in attending to the patients. So the University of Nairobi is in every aspect
Thank you
of
very
this
much, Prof.
COVID-19 problem.
All right, thank you very much, Prof, for you giving us your take. Congratulations once again, and I wish you the best as you continue taking the university to the next level. That is Professor Stephen Kiama, the University of Nairobi Vice Chancellor, giving us his take on how the COVID-19 has affected the universities. Remember, Good Morning Kenya still continues on this discussion on the effects of COVID-19. We're taking a short break. We'll be back. Keep it KBC.